August 1950, Chicago. A priest is writing a letter to his congregation, and he knows that when he signs it, his life as a priest is over. The church has been asking questions about his private life. They want an explanation, a defense. What they get instead is a confession nobody saw coming. Not of guilt, the letter barely mentions the accusations. He writes that the walls themselves have stopped meaning anything, that he is leaving the pulpit, the title, the God with a name, for something with no name at all. His name is Alan Watts, and the letter is not the first world he has walked out of. His whole life circles one question. What are you underneath the name they gave you? He is born in 1915, in a quiet town outside London, in a house full of his mother's gifts from missionaries, silk paintings, carved bronze, the East arriving in his childhood like light through a keyhole. At 16, while his classmates recite Latin prayers, he is writing essays for the Buddhist Lodge in London. At 21, he publishes his first book on Zen. Everyone agrees the boy is brilliant. Nobody can say what he is for. Then America, 1938. A young wife, a new continent, and, strangest of all, a collar. The boy of bronze Buddhas becomes a priest. Years later, in the letter, he will tell the truth about why. He wasn't running toward God, he was running away from confusion, into the oldest, sturdiest certainty on offer. You have done your own version of this, chosen an answer not because it was true, but because it was solid. For 6 years he wears certainty like a borrowed coat. He is good at it, magnetic in the pulpit, beloved by students. But a borrowed coat never warms you, and when the church comes asking about his collapsing marriage, expecting shame, he hands them the coat. You know how the letter ends, not because I wish to make converts, but because I love this work more than any other. What follows is a year of near silence. No pulpit, no plan. Then San Francisco, a small academy where he teaches Eastern thought to Westerners who can't sit still. Then a radio microphone in Berkeley, and something nobody predicted. His voice, warm, laughing, sure of nothing, begins to reach strangers in the dark. 1957, he writes The Way of Zen, the book that hands the East to the West, and it makes him famous. The priest who left the church has become something there is no word for yet. He picks his own, a philosophical entertainer. And under all of it, one message, getting clearer year by year. The feeling that you are a lonely visitor in this universe, a stranger looking in from outside, is not a fact. It is a hallucination, and he intends to wake you from it. The world starts listening, thousands, then millions, and the man who tells everyone to let go begins to hold on for his life. Fame, when it finally comes, wears his own face. The 60s. A ferry boat moored in Sausalito. Seminars on the water, students on the dock. He is the counterculture's favourite voice, the man who makes letting go sound like coming home. Now look closer. 3 marriages, 7 children, a father more heard than held. Alimony that never sleeps, so he never does. City after city, hall after hall, the same lectures, the same laugh. The man who teaches the watercourse way, water which never hurries, never strains, is working like a man being chased. And there is the drinking. His friends see it, he sees it, it does not stop. And here is the thought you are already having. If what he taught was real, why didn't it save him? Hold that question. Don't put it down. People who loved him asked it to his face, and his answer is coming. But first, you should recognize this from the inside. Knowing a truth about yourself and watching yourself not live it. The gap. Anyone who has ever given a friend advice they couldn't take themselves has stood in that gap. He lived there. November 1973. He flies home from a lecture tour of Europe, wrung out to the seams. Home is a round cabin on the flank of a mountain above the Pacific. Friends worry about his heart, about the bottle, about the pace. He tells them he's fine. That night, the fog comes up the mountain, and Alan Watts goes to sleep. He does not wake up. He was 58. And his story should end there, except for the machine in the next room. Start with what he never said. He never said, "Follow me." Never sold a program. Never promised a fixed and finished self. "I am not trying to help you or improve you." He said it plainly, and he meant it. Because his message was never about repairing you. It was stranger than that, and older. Consider what is looking out of your eyes right now. The iron in your blood was forged inside a dying star. That is not poetry, that is physics. Every motion of your body runs on sunlight, caught by leaves and carried to your table. The air in your lungs this second belonged to the sky a minute ago. You did not come into this world, you came out of it, the way a wave comes out of the ocean. You are not a stranger here. You are something the universe is doing, one opening through which the whole of it is looking. So now answer the question from before. Why didn't it save him? Because it was never a rescue. He never claimed the wave must be calm, only that the wave is the ocean, storming or still. The drinking, the running, the gap between the man and the message, none of it revoked what he was. Nothing could. That was the whole teaching, the part almost everyone misses. Your belonging is not conditional. It never was. And in his final year, without ever calling it this, he built his own afterlife. His son had been recording him for years. Hundreds of hours, reels and cassettes stacked in boxes. In 1973, the two of them began designing something they called the Electronic University. His voice teaching without him in the room. He died that same year. The machine outlived the man. The tapes went into boxes, and the boxes waited for a world that did not exist yet. It took decades. Then the world caught up. The internet arrived, and the dead man's voice began to travel, under soft music, under rain, folded into millions of videos by people who were not yet born when he stopped breathing. He has been heard more in death than any philosopher was ever heard in life. He never saw a single view. And tonight, in a dark apartment, a man stands at his window with one earbud in, listening to that warm, laughing voice, maybe for the 100th time, without knowing any of the story you now know. Maybe you have heard the voice too. Maybe it found you the way it found him, uninvited, half asleep, saying something you weren't ready for. Then hear the line he wrote on the day he walked out of God's house. The line he left in the letter, waiting 23 years for you. Inner emptiness is not a void to be filled with comforts. It is a window to be looked through. You have been treating your emptiness like a hole, filling it with sound, with light, with anything that fits. He is telling you it was never a hole. Stop filling it. Look through it. The voice ends. The man takes the earbud out. The window is still there. So is what's on the other side.